They're only focused on monthly income. How many of you agree? If you're only focused on monthly income, it's better to get a job, because at least there you'll get a stable, consistent monthly income for the amount of talent, experience, and capability you have. See, honestly, I'll tell you something. A lot of these motivational speakers and network marketers and authors, they have corrupted our brains for the last 30 years, saying that jobs are a rat race. I don't agree to that philosophy. If you can't respect jobs, you have no business to be in business. Please remember this. It's a game of clarity. Jobs are great for stable, consistent monthly income. Business is good for accelerating growth. But if you're building a business in a manner where you're only chasing stable monthly income, then might as well be in a job. Why take so much risk and stress? Yes or no? Why take so much risk and stress just for the ego of being an entrepreneur? And I see so many entrepreneurs, they are entrepreneurs just for ego, because they find it cool to call themselves an entrepreneur. It's a trap. It's a trap. A survival business is a trap where you're focused only on making enough money to cover your expenses. Whereas a growth business is focused on wealth creation. A growth business is focused on wealth creation. Now, there's a big difference between income generation and wealth creation. So, write focused on wealth creation, and I'll give you an elaborate understanding of what I mean by wealth creation. Once you're done writing focused on wealth creation, type out done, so I'll elaborate on this. Awesome. So listen to this carefully, everybody. Listen to this carefully. In income generation, you're focused on only making enough money to take care of the expenses of your family and your lifestyle. Clear? You're only focused on making money to take care of your expenses for your family and your lifestyle. That's the only focus of income generation. But what is wealth creation? In wealth creation, you are making enough money to take care of your family's necessities and lifestyle. You're making enough money to save money for your future. You're making enough money to to invest money for creating growth for your net worth. You're making enough money to be able to spend on your enjoyment and recreation. And you're able to make enough money to contribute and give in charity. How many of you agree? When you are able to make money for your necessity, for your saving, for your investments, to build assets, for your enjoyment, and for your contribution, that's when you've created wealth. And that's when you have a balanced relationship with money. That's when you have a balanced relationship with money. So next to wealth creation, you can write these 5 words down. Write these 5 words down. Necessity. Write down necessity, savings, investments for assets, necessity, saving, investments for assets, recreation and enjoyment. You need to enjoy your life as well. You can't be a robot. Recreation and enjoyment. And finally, charity and contribution. How many of you agree? These are the 5 uses of money, and this is when you have a balanced relationship with money. This is when you have a harmonious relationship with money. Only making money to take care of your kharcha or your expense, it's not a balanced and harmonious relationship with money. There's no abundance there. But when you make money for these 5 things, for your necessities, for your saving, for investing, for your recreation and enjoyment, for your contribution in charities, that's when you've created wealth. And that's what growth business owners are focusing on. They want to create wealth. They're not just focusing on how do I make money this month. So do you see the first fundamental difference between the two in terms of what's the goal and what's the focus and what's the approach? Yes? Awesome. Second, survival businesses are owner driven. Please write that down. Survival businesses are owner driven, which means what? Most of the activities in a survival business are done or dependent on the owner. The owner is the one who's thinking about marketing and doing marketing, thinking about sales and doing sales, thinking about operations and doing operations, thinking about accounts and taking care of accounts, thinking about HR and taking care of hiring or people development. Everything revolves around the owner. Now, question for all of you. Is that healthy? If everything is revolving around the owner, is that healthy? Not at all. Now, I know when I say this, Some people also get defensive. They start justifying, saying, but Rajiv, if we don't have the money to hire, then we only have to do everything. No, wait. Firstly, can you have an open mind? This is not a debate between me versus you. I'm going to give you a solution. Even if you don't have money to hire, how to build a growth-driven business. But first, you need to have an open mind, because how many of you agree? Till the day you keep justifying to yourself, that when I have the money, that's when I can build a growth business. Till then, I have to be a survival business. Till the day you keep justifying to yourself, nothing changes. Yes or no? Nothing changes. You can feel right about your opinion saying, but when I don't have the money, I only have to do everything. You can feel right about it. But just because you feel right about it does not mean that's the most effective way of building a business. That does not mean that's the most effective way of growing your business. So please understand, being owner driven is a curse. It's a trap. Paap hai ye, paap. Okay? And some people have this thought process. Rajiv, in the starting, I'll do everything. Later on, after a few years, I'll build a team. But here's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the truth. The truth is this. There are people who are in business for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, who started with this mindset that in the beginning, I'll do everything. Later on, I will not be involved in everything. And even after 10, 15, 20 years, they are involved in everything. How many of you agree to that? Those of you who are in business for 10, 15 years. How many of you agree to that? In the starting, even you had this mindset. Starting, I'll do everything by myself. Later, I don't have to be involved. But even after 10, 15 years, you are involved. The number of agrees and yeses in the chat box is crazy. Wilson says yes. Swapnil says agree. Yuvraja says agree. Vinuraj says yes. Mukesh Patel says yes. Aditya says agree. Rishabh says agree. Umesh says agree. A167 says yes. Padri says yes. Vinod says yes. I have more than 200 yeses over there. So what lesson does it teach those of you who are just starting your business journey, or who have just started in the last 1 year or 6 months or 8 months? What lesson do you learn from these people? What lesson do you learn from these people who are already experienced in business? That you can't have this mindset of starting I'll do everything by myself. Later on, I will not be involved. See, please remember this. The way you design your business, it's either designed for survival or it's designed for growth. You either start a business for survival or you design your business for growth. Is this making sense? It's not like you'll build for survival. Suddenly one day heaven's doors will open and angels will descend and say, you are the chosen one. Now your business will grow. It won't happen. You either design for survival or you design for growth. And those of you are stuck in survival for 10, 15, 20 years, don't worry. It's never too late. You can shift gears for growth starting from today. Is that fair? So my friends who are in business for 10, 15, 20 years here, don't get disheartened saying, yeah, Rajiv, I'm in this trap. No, I can't come out. You can. You can. You can shift gears today and start coming out. And I'll teach you how today. So survival businesses are owner driven. Now write down, growth businesses are system driven. Growth businesses are system driven. Which means what? In a growth business, even when you hire people, see, people will come and go. Yes or no? People will come and go. That's the truth. But even when people come and go, if you have a system-driven business, it won't affect you when people will go, because the system stays. There's a way of doing things and producing results in every department. Now, I know when I say system-driven business, I know it's not the first time you are hearing this word. Many people have told you that, yeah, build a system-driven business, but nobody's told you what systems. Today, would you like to learn what systems? Because there are 3 types of systems. And I'm going to teach you those 3 types of systems today. But firstly, you need to understand that being an owner-driven business will not take you far. It will keep you stuck in a survival mode. So today, we will learn what kind of systems you need to build in your business, so you have clarity of what systems. Okay, so that is the second difference between a survival business and growth business. Here's the third characteristic of a survival business. In a survival business, there is low action consistency in marketing, sales, operations, HR, and accounts. Please write that down. Ravi, I'll teach that in some time. So don't worry. I'll teach what is a system-driven business in some time. In a survival business, there is low action consistency in marketing, sales, operations, HR, and accounts. Once you're done writing this, type out done. So I'll elaborate on this. I'll explain this. Awesome. So listen to this carefully. Everyone, listen to this carefully. What happens is, in a survival business, most of the activities are done by the owner. Now, when most of the activities are done by the owner, can the owner do marketing, sales, operations, HR, accounts consistently on a daily basis all by themselves? No, they can't. So what happens? The owner is only jumping from one activity to another activity based on where there is crisis. So if there are no leads in the pipeline, there are no projects in the pipeline, then the owner will wake up and say, let me do marketing. And they'll start doing social media marketing or email marketing or join a business referral networking organization or participate in an exhibition or an expo. Now, when they do marketing for some time, they generate leads. Now, somebody needs to go and sell to those leads and convert those leads into deals. Who's the best salesperson in most cases? The owner himself or herself. So what does the owner do? From marketing, they jump into sales. They start going for sales meetings. They start understanding customer requirements. They start making proposals for customers, presentations for customers, pitch decks for customers. Then they present those pitch decks and proposals to the customers. Then they get busy in following up with the customer, going for negotiation meetings with the customer. Now, when the owner is busy in all these sales activities, what happens to marketing? Does it continue or stop? Type out for me in one word. Does it continue or stop? It stops. So lead generation has stopped. Now the owner is busy in selling. Now, after being busy in selling, the owner converts the deal. They get a client. When they get a client, the owner jumps from sales to operations. They get busy in project planning, in vendor coordination, managing suppliers, managing team members, delivering the product or service to the customer. Now, when the owner is busy in all these operations activities, what happens to marketing and sales? Does it continue or stop? It stops. So when marketing and sales is not consistent, will you have consistent projects? No, you won't have consistent projects. That's why you have inconsistent income. Some months is Diwali, other months is Diwala, then Diwali, then Diwala. And in this inconsistent income, who doesn't get paid? The business owner. That's why it's a survival business. Are you seeing? Because the action is not consistent in all these activities, the result will not be consistent. And if the result is not consistent, the business is already always in firefighting for survival. If you see that, type out true in the chat box. But that's the fundamental difference between a survival business and a growth business. In a growth business, because it is not owner driven, because it's not dependent only on the business owner, and there are clear systems in every department, there's a proper focus team for different activities, that's when you see consistent action in marketing, sales, operations, HR and accounts. And when there's consistent action in marketing, sales, operations, HR and accounts, that's when you see consistent result. And because there is consistent result, the owner does not have to focus on day to day and month to month. The owner can focus on growth and expansion. If this is making sense, type on makes sense. See, if there's no consistent result, naturally the responsibility comes on you. Naturally, you are the one who's sitting and doing everything by yourself, and your only priority is how can I pay salary on time, rent on time, credit card bill on time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for some of you, here's what's happening today. For some of you, what's happening today is there's a part of you that is seeing the growth-based business characteristics and like, shit, this is what I want. But there's a part of you that says, it's not possible. Can I tell you? Kill that part inside of you which is saying it's not possible, because that's not true. If it was not possible, then you wouldn't have seen successful businesses around you. Yes or no? It means it's possible. It's just that you don't know how to do it. Just because you don't know how to do something, don't close your mind to it. In every industry, there are examples of successful business owners who are sitting and not doing everything by themselves. There are examples of chartered accountants who built CA firms where they are not sitting and doing bookkeeping and managing every single client. There are examples of doctors who built hospitals where they are not sitting and treating every single patient. There are examples of lawyers who build law firms where they are not sitting and addressing every single case. There are examples of manufacturers where they are not sitting and monitoring the production on a day-to-day basis. There are examples of retailers who build multiple retail stores and they're not sitting on the cash counter of every single retail stores. There are examples of distributors, wholesalers who have built distribution and wholesale business in multiple brands where they're not sitting and deciding the price of kitne mein maal bechna hai on a daily basis. Which means what? It's possible. It's possible in every business. This is making sense. Awesome. So, which brings me to another characteristic of a survival-based business. The other characteristic of a survival-based business is a survival-based business only does sales in desperation. Sales is done only in desperation. They're only focused on operations, projects, customer requirement, customer deliverable. They'll think of sales only when there's no money. How many of you can relate to that? You're not selling on a daily basis. You're not proactive about selling. You're thinking about selling only when there is desperation. Saying no money, no project. Oh, this project is there, but we don't have money. Let's go get another client. That's the classic characteristic of a survival business. They do sales only in desperation. Okay? Or they do only sales. That also doesn't work. What do I mean by only sales? See, watch this. Watch this. If you're going to design a poster about your products and services and you're going to post it on different WhatsApp groups and social media channels and send it via email to your database of emails, let me ask you a question. Do you think people will buy? Do you think people will be excited? No. If you put a poster on a WhatsApp group, there are only two people who are excited about that poster. You and the graphic designer who designed that poster. The rest of the world does not care. The rest of the world does not care. Because you are just trying to sell. You are desperate. That's why you're doing these things. But in a growth-based business, they understand only sales does not work. In a growth-based business, they are proactive in marketing and sales. You need to do marketing and sales. Everybody write this. Proactive in marketing, 80% effort is on marketing, only 20% effort is on sales. I'll elaborate that through an example so all of you get clarity of what I mean by 80% marketing and 20% sales. Once you're done writing that, type out done in the chat box. Manish, I've clearly said question answers after the training is done. It's a good question. You have just be patient. Thoda sabr karo. Awesome. Done writing, everybody? Okay, great. Listen to this carefully. If every time you go out there to the market and you're only trying to sell your product or service, you will fail. You will fail. Like for example, sending a promotional email or a promotional poster about your products and services, nobody responds to it. Nobody cares because there is only your agenda. They're saying, buy my product, buy my service. So only sales fails. Everybody write this down in your notebook. Only sales fails. When you want to get business, you don't do only sales. You do 80% marketing, 20% selling. What do I mean by 80% marketing, 20% selling? Firstly, it's important for you to understand the meaning of marketing. Marketing is value addition. Everybody write that down in your notebook. Marketing is value addition. Selling is product or service promotion. Please write these two statements. I'll repeat it. Marketing is value addition. Selling is product and service promotion. If you're done writing that, type out done. Marketing is value addition. Selling is product and service promotion. So what am I saying? Put 80% of your effort in marketing, which is value addition. Add value to your customer. How can you add value to your customer? By educating your customer. Put 80% effort in marketing to add value. 20% of your effort you put in selling to promote the product or service. Now let me give you a practical example to make sense of this. And most people think, Rajiv, you need money for marketing. No, you need effort and skills for marketing. Money comes later. You need money to advertise. You need money to amplify. But to market, you need effort and skills. See, I'll tell you the problem is this. Most people are incapable. So they make money as an excuse for everything. They don't know how to do things the right way, so they make money as an excuse for everything. Understand this. 80% of your effort in marketing. Let me give you an example. Say, for example, a friend of yours creates a WhatsApp group and they add 250 business owners to that WhatsApp group and you're one of the business owners they add to that WhatsApp group. Now, when you get added to that WhatsApp group, one of the members of the group sends a message saying, "Hello friends, my name is so-and-so and I'm passionate about health, wellness and nutrition. And my passion for health, wellness and nutrition leads me to creating simple videos on how people can take care of their health, wellness and nutrition by themselves. So to share my passion with all of you, I'm sharing my first video with all of you on how do you deal with a stomach bloating problem, because many people face this problem of their stomach bulging out. Even though they are eating right, even though they are eating light, their stomach bulges out. So here are 3 tips that I've shared in this video to deal with the stomach bloating problem. If you find the video useful, share it with your family and friends. Now this message comes, they've given you an introduction and a context, then they send a video, you click on that video, you watch the video, and it says 3 tips to deal with stomach bloating problem. Tip number 1, drink a bowl of soaked raisins in water overnight with saffron in it within 15 minutes of waking up. So it cleanses your gut health. Tip number 2, make sure you drink water in a copper glass and the water is stored in a copper jug, because copper enriches the quality of the water and helps you in your digestion and metabolism process and deals with stomach bloating. Tip number 3, have a bowl of curd every day after lunch, because the probiotic bacteria of curd helps in cleansing your gut health and improves your metabolism and deals with stomach bloating. Now, this person, what have they done? They've given simple tips. They've educated people. They do this on the first day of the WhatsApp group getting created. Then they are silent for 1 week. 1 week later, they send another message. They say, "Hello friends, thank you to those of you who watched my video last week on stomach bloating and had positive messages and comments to share. This week, I have created a video on how to deal with the dehydration issue because summer is setting in. So please watch this video and share it with your family and friends on 3 tips to deal with dehydration." Now you open the video, they say, tip number 1, make sure that you're eating water-based fruits and vegetables every day in your diet. Have cucumber, have watermelon, because this improves the indirect intake of water in your body. Tip number 2, make sure you're drinking water from a copper glass and stored in a copper jug, because copper enriches the quality of your water and helps you deal with dehydration. Tip number 3, have sugar and salt solution every day because they help you retain electrolytes in your body and fight with dehydration. Now like this every week, once a week, once a week, this person is sending educational videos to the WhatsApp group. And after 8 weeks of sending educational content once a week to the WhatsApp group, in the 9th week, this person sends a message saying, "Hello friends, thank you for all your comments and messages for the last 2 months for all the videos I've shared around improving your health, wellness and nutrition. Today, I want to professionally introduce myself to all of you. Apart from creating videos on health, wellness and nutrition, my passion for health, wellness and nutrition led me to start a business of copper utensils trading. We do wholesale as well as retail trade of copper utensils. Now, through my videos, you've all understood the benefits of using copper utensils in your lifestyle. If you would like to place an order for copper utensils, feel free to drop me a message. And I will be happy to service your orders." Now, question. I have a question for all of you. Will more people now be curious about his product and inquire about his product, or lesser? More or less? More people will. Because this person's added value, because this person's established credibility, because this person has created curiosity. More people will. Now, if this person, without adding value, without educating people, if this person just designed a poster with copper utensils photographs and the poster read, "We are XYZ Enterprises, trader, wholesaler and retailer of copper utensils. Please place your order." Would anybody have responded to this person's poster? No, because that's only selling. Only sales fails. 80% marketing, 20% selling. It's powerful, it's effective, it's ethical. Yes or no? "20% marketing, 80% marketing, 20% selling. Powerful, effective, ethical." Now, am I saying all of you need to make videos? No. You figure out your own way of sharing your expertise in your industry. If you're in a B2B business, you probably don't need to make videos, but you can write educational emails and send it via email. See, not all of you need to be on social media. Please remember that. You need to identify which is the right channel where your customers are. If you're a retailer and you have a database of phone numbers, then put them on a WhatsApp broadcast group and create content for that WhatsApp broadcast group. Identify where is your customer. If your customer cannot understand English, make content in the local language. Get the essence. 80% add value. Either through videos or through educational posters or through educational emails or through educational blog articles. Add value. 80%. Showcase your expertise, showcase your capability, and then sell. Is this making sense? Now, when you do this 80% marketing and 20% selling, will there be 15 to 20% negative, cynical people who will go like, oh, so for 8 weeks he was sending educational content because in the 9th week he wanted to sell? Will there be some 15, 20% or 25% negative, cynical people? Yes. What do you do with negative, cynical people? Type out for me. What do you do with the negative, cynical people? Exactly. You ignore them. You ignore them because firstly, these people are fukatiyas. They don't believe in fair trade. They don't believe in adding value. They don't believe in selling. They look at selling as sleazy and cheap. They don't understand that this economics of this planet wouldn't have run if not for sales. They have a problem. They have a sales allergy. And you know why they have a sales allergy? Because they suck at selling themselves. They feel insecure. You don't like what you can't become. That's the truth. Have you seen on social media when celebrities or rich people post something and you have a bunch of trollers and haters? Those trollers and haters will never become rich because they have an allergy. So ladies and gentlemen, do not worry about the negative, cynical people. You focus on 80% marketing, 20% selling because it's powerful, it's effective, it's ethical. Yes or no? Awesome. Which brings me to another aspect of a survival business. In a survival business, management is missing. Now, when I say this, a lot of business owners think, but no, Rajiv, I am the management. I'm the management. I do everything. Okay? But I'll tell you something. You doing everything is not management. You doing everything is crisis management. How many of you realize that? It's not management. That's crisis management. You are doing everything because there's nobody else to do what you are capable of doing. That's a crisis your business has. So that's not called management. The true work of management is to focus on expansion and growth. And that's what entrepreneurs in a growth business are doing. They are focusing on expansion and growth. How can I take it to the next level? Which brings me to the last point. In a growth business, the entrepreneurs focused on scale. In a survival business, the entrepreneurs focused on firefighting. Look, I'm very passionate about this topic. Passionate to a point that sometimes I don't care about how brash I come across. Because I have realized that one of the biggest mistakes we make as entrepreneurs is we find virtue in our stupidity. Doing everything by yourself is stupidity, but we find virtue in it. We feel, oh, I'm such a nice person. Please understand this. Business is a growth game. If you're not playing the business for scale, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your life, and you're doing injustice to your own family. Because you don't have time, you're not seeing the growth, your family is questioning you and saying, where is this going? You're working so hard, you're all the time stressed, you don't have time for us also. Where is this going? And that time you fight with your family saying, you're not supporting me. That's unfair. Please understand, that's unfair. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody will support you for 3 months, for 6 months, for 9 months, for 12 months, for 15 months, for 18 months. Beyond that, they will question you. And when they question you, it's coming from care. But you label them and you say, money doesn't mean anything to me. Money is not everything in life. For me, it's about passion. Sorry, your passion has become poison and you have not realized it. And I agree, money is not everything in life. I'm not asking you to build a growth business because it's about the greed of money. A growth business is an indication of your capability. It's not for the greed. The money is a byproduct of a growth business. How many of you realize that? So I'm not asking you to be greedy and selfish and just chase money. because the chase of money will never end. But I also want you to know this. Some people say money is not everything in life, Rajiv. I agree, money is not everything in life. If your health is a mess, money holds no value. If your relationships are a mess, money holds no value. If you don't enjoy doing what you're doing, money holds no value. But please say the words money is not everything in life after you've made the money. Is that fair, everyone? Please say the words money is not everything in life after you've made the money. पहले पैसा बना, फिर ज्ञान पे लो. जितना पेलना है पेलो. So with that, I've given you the difference between a survival business and a growth business. Now we're going to go deeper into an analysis of your business, and then I'm going to give you a solution of how do you build a growth business.